Alright guys, it's been a while. I'm going to show you how much chicken compost we've made over the winter. It's huge. I'll just put some washing out on the line, and look, our cherry tree, massive cherry tree, is in flower. So, oh god, and check this out. This is one of my favourite views in the garden. These beautiful tulips. We planted loads of tulips in the autumn. Oh, just before I show you the chickens, have a look at this as well. This is the new border I'm establishing. So lots to happen. We've got lots of tulips, yellow tulips at the moment, but we've had different colours. We've lost a lot of tulips because of the I think mice are chewing them off. That's a stem, and those two are stems, and one about to come out. So I've lost an absolute ton of tulips from mice, and we've got different colour schemes going on, and we planted over 200 bulbs. So yeah, they've been looking really nice, but I think the mice got a bit overexcited with them. So come and have a look at this. So there will be some changes coming in the coming year. I want to build out another caged area up here to expand the amount we can do with compost, but this is kind of this compost sorting area. These are sticks that I'm not really able to use. These have actually been through the chicken run to kill off. It's all ivy, mainly ivy stems. I'll show you the chickens in a minute, but look, we've produced 2 big Daleks full of compost, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's still a bit rough looking, but it was in there for about 3 months, and there's a bit of charcoal in there as well that I put in, and that'll break down over time. And it's looking pretty good. I've left it open. It's dryish on the top, but quite moist still on the inside. And that's good to go. And what I want to do is put it on the grass, actually, because I'm considering the grass as pasture, and I want to try it out, see what effect it has. And it's going to increase our water retention and all sorts of other stuff. So we'll keep you up to date with that. This is the second one. It looks like it sank a bit, actually. Was more up to the top. And this is a bigger, this is quite dry at the top. And this is a bigger Dalek than that one. But you can see there's from a little bit of grain that we've put in, it's been sprouting up again. But you know, that'll die off easily enough once it has not a lot. That'll die off easily enough once it's spread out. And I'll show you the current batch I'm making. So that was actually one batch that I just left over winter for about 3 months, and I'll show you what I'm doing at the moment. And we've got new chickens, actually. We had the fox got in. I'll show you what it did. The little bolt down there, the fox managed to rip off the hood and then push in. And so what I've done, I've put on a new bigger bolt. I've put this on to help keep it closed against a new kickboard. So we've got 3 batches, one up there as well. And so this is the piece of wood that the door pushes against, so it can't be pushed in at the bottom anymore. But the fox got in, killed all the chickens, had to get a new set of chickens. And these lay really interesting looking eggs. And also, move it out of the way, the fox was trying to dig in through the side, but I had put a lot of concrete, but I've added more concrete, and I think we're actually really quite secure now. I can't imagine how they'd get in. I didn't think they'd get in anyway. So that was upsetting, but you know, we moved on, got a new set, and I'll show you what I've been doing in here for the compost. I've got a latch on the inside that just to hold the door shut so they don't get out. Here they are, here are the ladies. these two grey ones produce olive coloured eggs, but they're different shades, and one of them is doing double yolkers, big eggs every now and then. The two sort of with a tint of brown, they're producing little blue eggs, and then this one, the speckled one, is producing a white egg, and this is the compost in the middle. So that marks the edge of the pile. They've spread it out at the moment. Yeah, I'd say that marks the edge of the pile, and then yeah, it's quite thin there but much more dense here. And I'll see if I can give you an idea. I mean, this compost is looking absolutely amazing. So this is at ground level, so I'd say there's a good sort of foot or two of compost in the middle, and they're very happy. I'll show you what they really like. Having a look. So I'll show you what I do with the pile in a minute, but they're very keen on what's happening in the compost. And if you have a compost operation in with your chickens, it's going to add a bit more food for them, and it's going to give them a bit of interest during the day. You can see how interested they are in just moving that soil a little bit. It looks amazing once it's all piled up as well. Anyway, have a look at these eggs. So we've gone from previously having brown egg layers to these. So these are the two green ones, and then there's two blue ones. And that's the view inside. And they're quite clean actually, these ones. They do groom each other, which the other ones weren't doing. And they do tend to keep the egg boxes a lot cleaner. But I can see that actually that one's getting quite dirty, but the eggs are quite clean. I'll leave these in for the kids to collect later for their jobs, but these are quite clean eggs. So that's nice. And actually any muck we've been getting on them, it hasn't been the poo, it's been from the mud. So it's just they were getting a bit muddy, but most of them are quite clean. They're quite clean, much cleaner, these chickens. Now we're into spring and the temperatures are a lot, yeah, there's always some plastic hanging around. I try and pick it up. Now we're into much warmer temperatures. The compost is processing a lot quicker. So this has been in for about a month, maybe 5 weeks, and it's already ready really. I'm adding charcoal every time I do a new batch. So there's charcoal in here, and I haven't bothered breaking it up too much, but charcoal's really good for animals. It can help them if they're a bit sick and give them different nutrients. And you can see in here we've got that smaller feeder over there, has eggshells in it, mixed eggshells, and then this is their main feed with the layered pellets, and then they get food from the compost. You can tell they want me to do some digging. They know why I'm here, and then that's their water. So we keep all that topped up, and I'll just put you on the tripod. That's going to come down the tarpaulin. Got a bit ripped to shreds in all the storms that we've had. So we've got basically compost here waiting to go in, which I can actually swap that batch out very soon. So it is looking like it will just take 6 weeks per batch, but it took months through the winter. And then that's where I keep the charcoal. So I'll just crack it open and then add some in once I've added in everything else. And yeah, this is a big bag to get through. Mostly moss and a mixture of everything there, but a lot of moss from last year. And then we've got fresh-ish wood chips. You can see the fresh wood chips are there. Dry sort of leaves from a customer's garden from last year. They rot down very quickly. And then we work doing food waste and keeping food waste in here, and bones and stuff, so you can't keep them in with the chickens. So I'll just pop you on the tripod and show you how I every day, whenever I've got the time and the effort, and I won't necessarily repile it all, but I'll do some, and there's some reasons behind that, but check it out. So I got this online, and it's an old, really old, like you can see it's flat, the forks are flat. Really nice old school fork, and it's a lot better than stuff you can buy in the shops these days. So just scoop it up into a pile. Make sure the chickens don't get in the way. Scoop it up. That way they can get to all the ground underneath, looking for bugs and worms, and also they scratch down. You can see them scratching down already. And they know now that this will yield them a bit of food. They're all over it. And I found it works better just using the fork. The rake's no good once it gets to soil. Just the rake's any good for when you're initially starting out and it's really ultra light and you can move it around really easily. I'll just move you a bit closer. Okay, so I have actually gone all the way around it, but you can do another bit where if I get the rake, then I can just sort of rake around it, and it means it can end up looking really neat and tidy, and also make sure you're getting every bit involved. So for example here, there's still a bit of loose earth around. If I want to get back to the base layer of soil and get all the compost taken care of, then just lightly rake it on the surface. And then you can see there's a little bit of a pile of extra compost. Try to do it one-handed and just add to the pile. Oops. Knocking the roof. But it's been really an interesting few months. So I've got an absolute ton of compost, and it's just waiting in the dialects out there to mature, and I'll do the same with each batch. Just leave it to, once it's all filled up and broken down, sit for a while, and then we'll put it onto the grass, or maybe even like individually mulch some of the plants that we want to grow. I'm generally using wildflowers in the borders, so they don't need much fertility. But we've got other stuff in there. One of the chickens has just gone inside to possibly lay an egg. Yeah, it's the speckled one, and the speckled one hasn't laid yet today. Yeah, and I can see it going down into the egg box. So that's cool. We'll get a light coloured egg now. And then there's other things I can do in here. So for example, at the very bottom of this pile, and I'll just take you off the tripod so you can see the height of it now. Just unscrew it over there. There's a bit of charcoal I've trodden on that's sort of broken up a bit more as well. So here we go. That's the pile from the floor. So I'd say we've probably got a Dialex bin worth of compost. Comes up to about my upper thigh. Oh, there we go. Just come back out. So is there going to be another egg? Or can't have been that quick. No, she's not laid an egg. Thought that was a bit quick. Don't know what she's gone inside for then. Maybe she felt something coming and decided against it. We'll watch the chickens for a little while and see what they do. One behind me having a drink. Ooh. Acting cool. So generally these two grey ones tend to get stuck in quite quickly. The ones with like light brown, that one and that one, they tend to just sort of go round the outside and just get the easy pickings. And then this one's a bit of everything, the speckled one. Looks like she's going back in as well. Yeah, look. Going back in. Sort of coming through the front door, if you can see her. But obviously being disturbed by me, so... And then... So the light brown ones tend to go around getting the easy pickings. The grey ones, they're quite happy to get stuck in and scratch around. And then this speckled one is a bit of an all, yeah, see, sort of an all-rounder getting stuck in. They all get involved really in their own way. I wasn't very picky with the material I put in here. It was pretty nasty stuff. Loads of ivy on thick stems, loads of sticks, twigs, really stuff that you'd want to compost for a long time. So just starting it off here, and I've been raking it. When it goes a bit flatter, I then rake the surface very lightly, and it pulls out stuff like this. Just long stuff that gets in the way. And since I've been doing that, it's been looking finer and finer, this compost. Just a little slip there. But actually most of the stuff I've got is wood chip and leaves, so that could go down even quicker. But yeah, I'd say 6 weeks is about right. We've had 4 or 5 now so far. Just another week or 2 of building this up and then scratching it down. So it's fast composting in the summer where you can get through a lot of bulk, and then in the winter it takes a lot longer, just down to temperatures. See the speckled one and the grey one's getting really stuck in. They do get worms every now and then. Good to see the brown one having a scratch. So the composting is going really well. It's really enjoyable. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it's going. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see what we end up doing with the compost and the effect it has. And the rest of the garden's looking amazing. So look out for some other videos when I give you a bit of a tour around the garden, spring tour. All right, we'll see you later.